Welcome back to the channel, This Garden Bliss. Today we will be talking about container gardening, and my name is David.
And I'm Claudia. We're going to take a look at how we are using containers to expand our garden spaces. We're seeing all the containers, bulbs, seeds, tubers that were planted in containers around our waterfall. And you may look back at one of our videos where we're planting calla lilies, canna lilies, and begonias and dahlias. And a lot of this is planted now in containers around the waterfall for summer interest.
And they just love it there. They grow profusely. The nasturtium, the ferns, they all just love being around that waterfall.
The nasturtiums were planted from seeds. The Bermansia was wintered over in the studio, and it seemed to have been quite happy there all winter long.
That was an achievement.
It was a new achievement. Never done that before. I wasn't sure if it would survive. These are new dahlias. They haven't bloomed yet, but they're coming along. This is one of the dahlias, Karma Coco, and that's doing very well. A lot of green. However, we have kind of a tropical looking space right now.
Yes, we keep talking about the sound, the ambience that running water provides in the garden, but visually it's stunning. It's almost tropical. And of course, the barrier of this green space divides the deck.
Now, this summer has been very warm. It's lots of sunny days. This is a plant that we found this summer called Senecio angel wings. This is placed at the front door.
Mhm.
We have front door containers that are looking good now. It's July. Begonias and petunias and impatiens. So these are the color palettes that we chose earlier this spring. In one of our videos, we showed the color palette of begonias and impatiens, and we often use the fern as our thriller. And we also have the Purple Heart, as well as variety of different sunshine impatiens. Now, the begonia here that we're looking at is a tuber that's been overwintered time after time.
Stunning.
Today, we will be sharing with you a project because these containers have been wonderful. So we'll be featuring our cedars that have been growing in these self-watering containers for 5 years.
So we saw the containers at Home Depot and decided to buy 5 of them to put along the fence here. But first I've got to mow and trim and whippersnip and get the grass right down short. And the ground is up and down. So there was a leveling thing that we had to do. Yep. So this fence was boring for the longest time. And someone recently suggested digging up the ground, which would have been a lot of work.
Well, beyond the garden gate is an open green space on a corner lot. Containers planted in many spaces. However, we thought we would expand the north courtyard garden, and we thought it would be a wonderful idea if we didn't have to dig. There's a huge oak tree in this area, so therefore we would be working with the root system. We would be disturbing the drainage system, and so we thought of getting some containers and really work on this area, beautifying it.
It would have been a really tough job digging into that ground.
This soil is tough as nails.
Mm-hmm.
It's 30 years.
Now, it is a northerly exposure, so we had to find something that would grow in the shade of the fence, only getting sun in the early mornings and late afternoons as it passes over. So Claudia and I bought these 5 of these large containers made of recycled rubber. We have 2 in the backyard. They're great. They've got a water reservoir on the bottom, so the roots will always be watered, but there's no overflow holes. So in the back, I've drilled 3 overflow holes so that you don't get waterlogged roots. And so we're going to put 5 along the fence between the posts and then plant later. But yeah, they're sturdy, strong. We got them on a deal.
They made out of rubber?
They're made out of recycled composite rubbers, tires, stuff like that. There's a pin here. If you didn't want this in here, you can take this out. But we're going to keep it in, put some gravel in here at the bottom, and then fill it up with potting soil. I thought I would start the leveling process using drainage gravel on the low spots, and then use crushed screenings to level it off. And you can see the impression there, checking with the level. Obviously that one's way out. We just didn't want to see this topsy-turvy, lopsided containers along the fence. It would look very unprofessional, you know. So before we got the water in and before we got the soil in, we got all 5 of them done just like that. Looking good. So let's get to work. Here we are, finishing up the last of the few with the screenings there, checking and rechecking.
We also thought of using concrete slabs to place the containers on. However, then you're raising your entire container as well as leveling the concrete slab itself.
More work.
So you discouraged us from doing that by saying that, well, the ground isn't that uneven, just in areas, certain areas, lumps and bumps, just to make it look more natural. We would just go with a little bit of crushed screening to level areas where we need it.
And we also measured out from the fence to make sure it was consistent distance from the fence boards.
Right. So initially I thought we would need only 3 containers, but then I thought, well, we have 5 section of fence, so it makes sense that we have to use 5. So you suggested that we put the screening also into the reservoir?
Well, it's a drainage stone so that you don't get soil going into the water below. This is now draining off through the excess holes, but you just don't want to start mixing your dirt with your reservoir water, or you end up with a lot of mud. But so here we are, just getting the water up to the level, and it'll drain. And then after we do this, of course, we just fill it in with potting soil.
Okay, so we have the water in. We've leveled them, all 5 containers, and now we're filling the reservoir itself, which I have been learning over 5 years with the cedars growing in these containers. It reaches down for the excess water when needed. Now, this one cedar have been living for 5 years and it's doing beautifully. So this is one of the reasons that have inspired me to use these containers, because the plants really do survive very well. But we needed 56 liters of potting soil.
Each one of those bales filled the container.
Each container, 20 by 20, holds 56 liters of potting soil. Now, I also selected this beautiful proven winners hydrangea called pufferfish. It's a panicle hydrangea, but it's not quite pointed. It's also green. It turns into green as opposed to your color. And I found a sale on sweet potato vine, $1 for a 5-gallon sweet potato vine. And so the pufferfish that you're looking at here, it's more rounded than panicle. And I love the fact that against the orange-red fence, it turns green as opposed to a pink.
Well, I think you paired them out quite nicely. The sweet potato vine and the hydrangea work very well together.
Green, green, green. Green complements red-orange. So the sweet potato vine will be going in front of the container just to fill in this space for the summer. Now the sweet potato vine will also be wintered over and I will grow them again next year.
This is behind the scenes where we're putting up all the chairs and stuff while we work. And our poor grapevine here is being eaten away
By
by
Japanese
by
bees,
Japanese the beetles. Yeah,
but the
always.
birds take care of the Japanese beetles, and it's wonderful how nature takes care of itself.
Tell that to the grapevine.
It will do just fine.
Yeah, I know. We get many quarts of grapes every year. Make jam out of it. So yes, this is the finished product. We are here. Quite happy with it. Trying to get the grass grow the last couple of weeks or since this was done, or a week now.
We did a little bit of a damage walking back and forth on the grass area there. We added in some sedum, and this sedum really covers the ground surface of the containers. And we've done it time and time again. It's a spiller, and it is a little blanket. We're taking a look at the north courtyard garden that is now connected to the space that we just created around the fence. And this is what it looks like now with the tiger lilies in bloom and the hydrangeas and the plantains settling in.
It was a great color palette.
It's been a wonderful summer. The weather has been warm and it's been lovely. A lot of heat. The black eye Susans are now starting to bloom in our northern retreat. The Casablanca lilies are in bloom, and the hydrangeas are starting to bloom as well. I look forward to showing you our next video in our summer stroll in this Garden Bliss.
Well done, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great summer, everybody.